What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Wrench Heads. So today I've got something different in store for you. I'm not actually going to be working on anything per se, but what I'm going to be doing is going over a product that I think is going to be very, very useful for the DIY mechanic. So let's get into it. So, if you recall, many moons ago, when I had the Volkswagen Jetta, I used a computer called the Ancel Fx3000. That is a computer that was specifically for Volkswagen Audi Group vehicles. And that is right here. So what that allowed me to do was to see lifetime data, reset codes, even access the onboard system, so like ABS, SRS, which is safety restraint system, what has to do with like seat belts, airbags, the sensors related to that, the ABS sensors that I mentioned for each of the four corners of the wheel speeds. That work with your things like automatic braking or cruise control. So transmission, body communicate, body computers, things that the car basically needs to be able to function. The only bad thing is that this is only for that vehicle if you're looking for more than just emissions codes. So I can't pop this into any car and pull emissions codes from it. But so can AutoZone. So what's the point in spending $50 on something like this if you have more than, a Volkswagen branded vehicle? So I've obviously got 3 different types of vehicles at my house now. My wife has her Subaru Ascent. I have the Ford Focus RS. And now my mother, she has a Kia Sportage. So having something simply that reads emissions is not going to be very helpful if there's a problem. So what I did was I made a step up and I got this. This is the Ancel Fx3000 OBD2/eOBD plus CAN. It's a mouthful, I know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you further in with me, and we're going to open this thing up and we're going to plug it into the cars to see everything that it sees. So we're going to open this up, take a look, and see everything that comes in the box. And then what we'll do is plug it up to each of the cars and see if we can actually see if there's any codes and see if we can access the integral systems of each car. So on the back, it tells you all the features, reads and clears codes, engine transmission, of automatics, ABS, airbag systems, enhanced data streams for ABS, SRS transmission and engine, automatic vehicle identification, auto module search and ultra fast protocol IDs. It says it retrieves vehicle VINs. You can view freeze frame data, IM readiness monitor status, display live PCM data, stream and O2 sensor test data. This thing is loaded with information. A 3.5 inch TFT colored display. Displays definitions on the screen, codes, cause, solution tips to offer faster diagnostic repairs, multilingual menu, multi-language menu, internet updates are available, and if you connect to a printer, you can print out things via PC. So this is really a good computer. So let's get to opening it up. So right away, we've got, so here's the cord, your OBD2 side plug-in, and then the part that connects to the computer. You've got a little micro flash drive, a micro SD card holder, which you can pop in and then plug into a computer or laptop to be able to read or print things out. You've got a micro USB port to I guess to be able to charge it up so you can use it while it's not connected to a vehicle. And then you got just like a cleansing cap to pop right in here. Or maybe, is it for this or for the other side? This is probably for the other side. Yeah, there you go. So you can pop that in right there to keep any dirt or debris from getting in there while stored and protect those prongs. So here's the unit itself. Nice little screen protector. It's really nice. The screen looks like a decent size. Soft touch pads. It looks like it's got like that thick kind of rubbery, like that rubbery plastic to help protect it through any falls or drops. Ooh, what's this? So it looks like it comes with some kind of USB of its own. I'll have to look at the instructions real quick to see if that's the case or if maybe that is just sometimes these come with like a key, and the key usually is just the program that allows it to identify vehicles. No, that is a memory card slot. So you memory card and USB slot. So I don't know. So I don't know if it comes with a memory card. Let me look into this and I'll get back to you. So I was able to get it out, and it does come with a 16 gig USB micro card. Well, you know, listen, I can't talk today, so I'm just gonna tell you, it comes with a 16 gig memory card. So that is awesome. That's a nice little addition. So I'm assuming you can increase your data storage by increasing the size of your memory card. So the rest of it, so preparation connecting. So obviously, like most computers, you turn the ignition on with the vehicle off, depending on what you're looking for. You can register for updates. And then this side shows you how to go through updating your scan tool, how to download the updates, and then it looks like each time you plug into a computer, the registration updates with the most current version of the software that you have. So I'm not going to go and do that right now. We're just going to go with the most current software that's on there. So give me a minute to step off camera and then I'll get this set up. So DTC lookup button, okay, to receive the DTCs in the database. The selection button, obviously up, down, left, right. The OK button is your square, and then escape or go back to previous screen is the curved arrow button. So we're going to go through any OBD2, check engines. So mill status is off. That makes sense because the car is not running. DTCs in the ECU is showing 0. It went through several readiness checks, and data stream supported 39. Ignition, spark, obviously it's not going to see anything because the car is not on. So let's see, onboard monitoring. So it's showing the variable valve timing monitor for bank 1, the catalyst monitor for bank 1, evap, the purge flow, sensor heater, bank 1, sensor 1, fuel system banks, sensor heater, bank 1, sensor 2, misfire monitor. It's got the misfire monitors in cylinders 1, 2, 3, and 4. So some basic stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the car up, and then we're going to see if we can access anything special. Going to go into the data stream. So I'm going to choose view all items. So fuel system 1 status is in closed loop, which is pretty typical. The car is not up to operating temperatures yet, so that won't change until the car usually gets up to operating temperatures and everything balances out. Calculated load, since we're at idle, we're at 30%. So this should drop down as the car reaches operating temperature and the oil cools out. Engine coolant temp is at Celsius right now. I will check and see if I can change that in the settings, or you can just Google what that means. Short-term fuel trim bank 1 is in a -4. Long-term fuel trim bank 1 is a 7. So that's normal. Intake manifold, absolute pressure, you're between like 33 and 34 right now. So a lot of these things, obviously, we're at startup conditions, so they're going to be fluctuating for a little bit until the car balances out. There's also could change based on where you live, your elevation, yada yada yada. So right now engine RPM is between 890 to 915. Again, we're waiting for that stuff to balance out. Vehicle speed at 0. Ignition timing advanced for cylinder 1, we got 8 to 9.5. Air intake is at 21 degrees. So you got throttle position, oxygen sensors, short-term fuel trim. So down here is showing you we got 37 categories that is monitoring. Fuel rail pressure, fuel level inputs, barometric pressure, oxygen sensor, bank 1, sensor 1. You got your relative throttle position to where the vehicle is now. So since we're idling, it's at 2%, which makes sense. You got your fuel air commanded equivalent ratio, absolute load, again, control voltage, catalyst temperature.
You got accelerator pedal position, throttle position, accelerator pedal position E. I'm not quite sure what that has in relation to do with. It looks like one might have to do with voltage, the other one have to do with physical positioning. Evap system pressure and type of fuel, it tells you that it's gas. So these are all graphic items. So kind of a lot of the same stuff that we were looking at. So it looks like you can select and confirm certain things. Let's see. So I'll look at something that won't cause any damage. So let's select distance traveled while mill is activated. Go escape to confirm. So now it's just showing us a little graph of what's going on. So since nothing's going on, it's not showing anything. Let's see. So let's see, timing advanced for cylinder 1. We're gonna mark that with the enter, and we're gonna go in with the confirm. So now this is showing what the spark is doing, your active spark advance ratio in cylinder 1, which is not bad. So now I know if I've got a bad spark plug, or maybe I'm running rich or I'm running too lean, I can compare this picture to a bad cylinder. So if the only bad thing is that it looks like if I go into a certain category, once I select it, I can't just go back. So this is intake air temperature, and I hit exit and it exits the whole thing. Let's try some freeze frame data. Alright, so this vehicle does not have freeze frame data. So that's based on, so freeze frame data would be based on, I guess, you saving something. Onboard monitoring. Oh, let's check out the VVT. So it's telling that the VVT is good, it passes. So here's the evap system, the different ranges. So misfire cylinder 1. So based on the octane, it shows what the maximum limit is, the maximum count is showing 0 counts, so that passes. So you can see if you're having issues with misfires in here or not. All right, so there was nothing to see there. There was nothing to diagnose. So that was, you know, meh. So let's go back into the OBD system. So right now, yeah, so there's really nothing. So there's nothing for the vehicles to see right now. because there's nothing wrong. So right here in the reset screen, you have reset ABS, so bleeding. You can reset the battery monitoring system after a charge. You can reset, do a brake system reset, your oil system reset, and your safety angle, your steering angle reset. So these are the systems. So clearly it can see that these are the systems that I would need to reset. Looks like I can also reset my oil light if it were on. So right now, if I reset my oil light, the only thing it's going to do is throw off the timing of where my oil degradation is. But I would imagine after shutting the car off and turning it back on, it would reset. So how about we pop over to the Subaru and see what it says for there. Okay. All right, so we have a little bit more luck with the Subaru because it's an automatic. So I got automatic and manual select. So I'm going to go with automatic first.
A few moments later.
All right, so I am in the Subaru screen, and last time I tried automatic and it only showed me engine, and then it kind of booted me out. So I'm going to go into manual, and that seems to be where we can go into the different systems. So engine is on top, transmission, brake control, airbag, brake vacuum pump, hybrid powertrain control. So this is showing that we have a lot more control over the powertrain, which obviously includes the transmission and the engine, our brakes, and then our SRS or airbag system. So because this is an automatic, I was able to get in there a lot easier. With the Ford, however, I was not able to get in there. Even with going into Euro Ford, it only showed me automatic. So I think there may be an update or something I need to install, but I don't have a Windows laptop. So there you have it. So as you saw on the Subaru, I was able to see some of the internal systems. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with any of the cars, so I'm not really going to be able to show you something without creating like a false code and unplugging something. And honestly, I'd rather not do that. But I got to do a little bit more figuring out for the Ford side of it, especially since you saw it's got the Aussie Ford, the Euro Ford, and then the USA Ford. So in order to access some of those more integral systems, I may need to update things or maybe see if there's a specific file that needs to be downloaded. I know Ford is one of those companies that you may need specific software to access their stuff, but you know, we'll figure that out as we go. But let me know what you think of what you saw. And if you have any other questions, we'll figure them out together. All right, Wrench Daily.